What's up, Dolphin fans? It's Thursday, April 6th, and you are joining me for the very first episode of the Take It to the Houtz podcast, or the Laces Out podcast, or as CK Parrott like to say, the Three and Houtz podcast, whatever it might be. I'm going to try to come on here more often to break down some of the daily news on the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please sign up. Please subscribe. Please smash that little bell for notifications, and I will try my best to bring you content each and every day, or as much as I can, with three kids. Also, if you're not already subscribed to the podcast, Another Dolphins podcast, again, you can check that out on my YouTube channel or Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, really wherever you get your podcast. So check that out. Let us know what you think. But today, I'm just going to come on here and try to fire from the hip and talk about the biggest thing that's currently on the Miami Dolphins' mind. And it's funny because I wrote an article for the FinsUp about, Tyreek Hill, the Miami Dolphins superstar wide receiver, telling the Kansas City Chiefs fans that he was going to be their worst enemy when they met in Arrowhead Stadium. I actually have the full quote in front of me, so let me make sure I say it. Chiefs Kingdom, when the Miami Dolphins come to Arrowhead Stadium this year, guess what we're going to do? Guess what we're going to do? I hate to say it, man. I hate to throw up the peace sign against you. I hate to do it, but guess what? I'm going to be y'all worst enemy that day. I'm going to be y'all's worst enemy that day. Y'all better change a signal because I know what you got coming. So a pretty back and forth banter between, I think, Chris Jones today going on with Tyreek Hill. Awesome stuff, really. I mean, we don't know when this game will be played, but we're hoping it's one of those primetime marquee games because we all remember Tua Tagovailoa going toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes back in, I believe it was his rookie year. I mean, that was a pretty awesome game to watch, and they did not even have anywhere close to those weapons. So some fun back and forth with Tyreek Hill. If you did not already see that interview for 810 WHB Sports Radio, if you did not already check out that interview with Tyreek Hill, it's a good 45-minute interview. I will throw the link up in the podcast. But today, one of the biggest things going around from that pod, and shame on me for missing it. I like to sit here and try to transcribe these podcasts. Got a quick article up on the Finsider. Kind of heard that he said when he was going to retire, but didn't really put much thought into it. And later, the NFL Network kind of came out with this quote, broke news that nearly broke Twitter. And it was basically Tyreek Hill saying that after he reaches 10 seasons in the NFL, he's hoping to ride off into the sunset. A lot of people did the math. That'll obviously take us to the 2025 season. He also went on then to say that he wants to play out the duration of his Miami Dolphins contract, which, there's a little bit of confusion there because that would take us to 2026. So whatever it might be, it sounds like Tyreek Hill may only be a Miami Dolphin for the next 3 or 4 years. And the way these contracts are set up, we know Tua Tagovailoa is on a 2-year deal, basically for what, $33 million after they picked up that 5-year option. Still relatively cheap compared to a lot of the starting quarterbacks around the league. We know that the window and the time is now for the Miami Dolphins to make some noise. I know it's crazy. We all like to sit here and talk Super Bowl, this, that, and the other thing, but let's be honest, it's been 20 plus years since the Miami Dolphins have won a wild card game. So I'm not going to sit here and say the Dolphins are Super Bowl bound, but when you make a trade for Tyreek Hill, when you give up that war chest of picks, when you shift, the completely dynamic of that Miami Dolphins offense, you hope to go out there and do more than just appear in a playoff game. So the Dolphins window appears to be 3 or 4 years if they want to have Tyreek Hill as part of that roster. He did go on to say he wants to start a gaming company. I joked, sign me up. Let me do whatever I need to do. I'll do social media. I'll make the videos. I'll come on and talk like this if you want me to. Whatever it is, I'm all there. We know he has Soul Runner, his brand, his clothing brand, awesome glasses, things like that. So when you look around the league, I saw a tweet. Calvin Johnson hung it up around 31, 32. Randy Moss as well. So it's not crazy to say that Tyreek Hill could ride off into the sunset, but it is definitely too early to tell. And again, I really hope that it equates to more than just a playoff appearance. Another awesome, interesting note from that same interview, and again, if you did not check it out, please, please, please go check it out, was what he said when he first got off the plane, or what Mike McDaniel said to him when he first got off his plane. And it was, as soon as I got off the plane in Miami, McDaniel shook my hand. And he's like, "Are you ready to go for 2000?" And I was like, whoa, Calvin Johnson's record? I was definitely excited, man. I already knew what Jalen Waddle was, a special talent, and I saw the offense when he was in San Francisco, meaning Mike McDaniel, and the way they used Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. And I was like, bro, I'm just imagining myself in that offense. He then went on to say how he had 1,700 yards, the most targets, throughout his career, most receptions, broke the Dolphins single season record. So Year one in Miami was an absolute home run. You had to love the way everything worked out, other than obviously Tua Tagovailoa's injuries and the way they lost by 3 points to the Buffalo Bills. But ultimately, the Miami Dolphins have lots of needs that they need to address. They only have 4 draft picks. I still think the biggest needs heading into that draft, or if you still want to go out there and sign a free agent, is right tackle. You obviously need a game-changing tight end, which Jake and I talked about. Check out that video. I'll actually throw that at the end of this video. Check that out. They still need that tight end. They still need to figure out the left guard spot. I said right tackle, linebacker. I mean, they signed David Long Jr., who I absolutely love, but you still want more, right? I mean, Channing Tindall, a guy who I had high aspirations for. The only thing we remember him from his rookie season was trying to go out there and spy guys like Josh Allen. Think he tried to spy Justin Fields and got burnt there and then never played another defensive snap. So I want to see those guys take a step, especially with Landon Roberts out. So I think those are the biggest needs as of right now. Like I said, right tackle, tight end, linebacker, left guard, and obviously running back's also a need. I mean, we all love what Raheem Mostert did last season. Raheem Mostert, I think, had the most rushing yards of his career. I believe it was 800 something. Jeff Wilson combined between his time in San Francisco and Miami, 800 yards. They brought back Myles Gaskin, Salvin Ahmed. So I do still think that we want to get that running back that we can all be excited about in draft and fantasy. But it's Chris Grier, right? I mean, the fact that he has never drafted what was the last one? Kenyon Drake, I think. So don't expect a high draft pick there. I do think that first round pick is going to be a tight end or linebacker. And that brings me to my next note. Tyreek Hill was actually asked what he sees the Miami Dolphins addressing in that interview, and he said linebacker or tight end. So game-changing tight end there at 51, game-changing, linebacker if one falls, maybe Jack Campbell, right tackle if possible. But overall, I think heading into this draft, when you look at this team from a year ago, when you look at them to now, a lot of these needs are still the same. So you hope that Chris Grier, you hope Mike McDaniel can solve those problems. And who knows, maybe a guy like Austin Jackson or Liam Eichenberg proves us all wrong and shows that they can be a starter in the NFL. But as of now, those are the biggest needs heading into the draft. I'll definitely talk a lot more about those. Definitely going to start doing more cut ups here. I was getting copyright, NFL copyright and different things, getting all the ad revenue from the videos that I cut up. So I will start doing all 22 cut ups. If I have the film, I will start coming on here and talking and doing commentary. Again, just remember, I'm a father of 3. I'm doing this right now with a cat jumping over here, 2 kids in there, and a baby sleeping. So I'm going to try to come on here as much as I can. I'm not going to say this will be a daily thing, but it'll definitely happen more often. So guys, if you enjoyed this, like it, subscribe again to the YouTube channel. Again, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, Another Dolphins podcast, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And again, I don't know if I say it enough, but thank you so much. I mean, I'm just a guy that, loved the Miami Dolphins, got on Twitter to follow training camps and things like that, slowly build up followers by making Photoshops like the Power Rangers one. I don't know if people remember my Jurassic Park Photoshops. I have failed blog after failed blog, and I'm now just trying to come on here, create content, and do something that I honestly said I would do from day one. So if you like what you're listening to, if you don't like what you're listening to, please just let me know in the comment section below. Again, I will try to do this as much as I can. And if you have a good name for this thing, I'm going to go with Take It to the Houtz for now. But who knows what it could evolve into. And this will just be a small piece to the YouTube content that we continue to bring to you right here on, I think the YouTube channel is at HoutzMD for now. I mean, that might change too. Dolphins Film Breakdown, Dolphins Daily, Laces Out. Like I said, I don't know. It's a lot of the good names are taken. So for now, we're going to go with HoutzMD. But thank you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support over the years. Thank you for caring what I have to say at times about the Miami Dolphins. And as always, most importantly, fins up. Enjoy your day, everyone. Happy Easter if I don't talk to you before then. Wait, what? Breaking news out of Miami Gardens. Darth Kader, a.k.a. Kader Kohou, the cornerback, sensational last season as a rookie, has officially changed his number from 28 to 4. So that is some groundbreaking stuff. Everybody knows Kader Kohou was arguably, the number 2 cornerback last season. Will probably play the nickel this year with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, both on the outside, but he has changed his number to 4. So the hopes of Dalvin Cook coming to Miami and wearing that number 4 are over. But the 4th is strong with this one, and Darth Kader now has the number 4. So excited to see what he can do in year 2. We all know he had an awesome season as a rookie, as an undrafted acorn, 63 total solo tackles, 72 total, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception. Guy was awesome at coming down and, in the run game and run support, blowing up screens, but was also very good in coverage. So excited to see the way he excels in Vic Fangio's defense. Love to see what he's going to learn from guys like Jalen Ramsey and another year with Xavier Howard. But groundbreaking stuff here I'm actually in Pennsylvania, but groundbreaking stuff today for the Miami Dolphins. So had to make sure we threw that out there. Again, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Take It to the Houtz podcast. I will be back tomorrow or maybe the next day or maybe the next day. But until then, guys, thank you so much. And as always, fins up.